hungering and thirsting for the things of God, keeps our hearts humble and positions us to be recipients of God's loving favor. Top of the morning to you. When we consider the concept of hungering and thirsting for God with the eyes of love and a firm determination to get to know God better, we find hunger and thirst are both a tool God uses to test us and humble us, as well as a way that we can get closer to God. Deuteronomy 8 is a recap of the learning points the Israelites are encouraged to remember about their 40-year wilderness experience. 8:2, remember the Lord your God led you on the entire journey there 40 years in the wilderness, so he might humble and test you to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would obey his commands. Verse 3, he humbled you by letting you go hungry. Then he gave you manna to eat, so you might learn that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Verse 11, be careful not to forget the Lord your God by failing to obey his commands, ordinances, and statutes. Verse 12, when you are full, verse 14, be careful your heart does not become proud, and you forget it was the Lord your God who brought you out of the slavery through a thirsty land where there was no water, where in verse 15 he brought water out of a rock. Verse 18, it was the Lord your God who gives you the power to gain wealth. Verse 19, the danger of forgetting is that it will lead you to worship other gods, which will result in your death. To keep from following into this death trap, Psalm 34 verse 8 says, let's give thanks to the Lord for his faithful love and his wondrous works for all humanity. Verse 9, for he has satisfied the thirsty and filled the hungry with good things. Psalm 107:43 says, let whoever is wise pay attention to these things and consider the Lord's acts of faithful love. Proverbs 10:3, the Lord will not let the righteous go hungry. Jesus tells us in John 6:35, I am the bread of life. No one who comes to me will ever be hungry, and no one who believes in me will ever go thirsty again. John 7:37, Jesus speaking, if anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. Word of encouragement, we can also choose to be thirsty and hungry in Psalm 65:1. God, you are my God. I eagerly seek you. I thirst for you. My body is faint for you in a land that is desolate without water. Matthew 5:6, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. They shall be filled. So just like God uses hunger, thirst to humble us, we can do the same thing by keeping hungry and thirsty for the things of God. Then fulfill James 4:10. Humble thyself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift us up higher and higher. Have a great day.